Hey friends, we are on lesson 39. Number 1 says, each box has 36 cookies. If Miss G bought 6 boxes, how many cookies does she have? So, each box has 36 and she bought 6 boxes. She bought 6 boxes of, and remember of means multiply, 36 cookies. Okay, let's get us some scratch paper. We need 36 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Carry the 3 up. 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 20, 21. So 216. And the question is how many cookies? That's our label. 216 cookies. All right, number 2. Show each time on the clock. So 2:45. That means it's almost 3 o'clock. When a quarter of the clock goes by, it will be 3. It's 1:45. So 1:45 is straight to the 9. And it's 2:45, so it's not quite 3. The hour hand is going to be still a little bit in the 2 hour. Okay? And then on this kind of clock, let's see what time it is. It is 2, because it's not quite 3 o'clock yet, 2:45. Quarter after 1. So quarter after means a quarter of the clock has gone by since 1 o'clock. So it's a little after 1, right? It's a quarter after 1. That means the minute hand is straight at the 3. Quarter after 1. So that time is 1:15. Google these terms if you can't remember them when you're going back to do your work. Quarter after, 1:45, okay? Another thing to Google if you're unsure of spelling, if you still have a journal at home with all your math words in it and all of your little helper sheets, find that, get it out. You can use it for things like this, where you need to know how to spell words, and here's your word page if you need it. Okay. So the next one says, write these money amounts as you would on a check. So let's read it real quick. So this is dollars, $430.17, right? 430 dollars. Dollars is an ARS. And this is where we write the cents, 17, out of how many cents there are in a dollar, 100. Okay? So let's do the next one, $902.04. 900, I always run out of room on these check lines. $902 and 4 or 04 out of 100, 4 cents. Okay, number 4, circle the best unit to use to measure each of the following. The thickness of a piece of paper. Well, if you look at the thickness of a piece of paper, it's not very thick at all, is it? So we're gonna pick the smallest here. A millimeter, a centimeter, a decimeter. We don't use this one very often. The smallest of these is millimeter. Length of a marker. So how long a marker is, or some kind of writing utensil, right? Would I measure it in inches, in feet, or in yards? Well, an inch is about that much. A foot is about the length of a ruler, and a yard is 3 rulers long. So the length of a marker, a foot would be too much. I would go for inches. Length of your foot. Now remember, millimeters are the tiniest little marks on the ruler. There are 10 of them in a centimeter. A centimeter is only about that long, smaller than an inch. And a meter is about the same as a yard. Sorry, my phone. And a meter is about the same as a yard. So if I was going to measure the length of my foot, I would go something close to inches. So I would probably do centimeters. Distance from your home to your school. Most of us don't live right across the street from the school. So inches would be far too tiny. I would never want to measure with inches. Feet would probably only make sense if you lived right across the street. But miles is how most of us measure our distance to the school. We are going to skip number 5 because your this has to do with time zones, and all of that stuff is in school right now, so we will address it when we're back in school. So that means I want you to skip number 5 also. Okay. Number 6, find each sum or product. Product is the answer to multiplication. Sum is the answer to addition, using mental computation. I don't need you to use mental computation. If it's too difficult to do that, I'd be happy if you did scratch paper too. For this one, we can use mental computation. Now, anytime you are multiplying by a 1 with zeros after it, and it has to be a 1 and it has to be only zeros after it, you can take as many zeros as there are and move them behind the other number. Okay, so if you're multiplying by 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000 like we are here, however big it is, you can take the zeros and move them over there as long as it starts with a 1. So we have 2, 5 with 4 zeros after it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't put any commas in until you get your number written out. Then you go 1, 2, 3, comma, and we don't need another one. Same rule over here. You see a 1 with 2 zeros after it. You can take those zeros and move them behind the 60. So now we have a 60 with 2 more zeros after it. And we go 1, 2, 3, comma. And now we're over here. So 17 times 4. I'm not going to do this with mental computation, and I don't know if you should either. So let's do it on paper. 17 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. 68. Now the way you would do this with mental computation, just so you know why they would ask you to do such a big problem, is because you can do 4 times 10. What is that? 4 times 10. 40, right? And then you can do 4 times 7. What is 4 times 7? 28. And you can add them up and you can get the same answer. So that's how you would do it with mental computation. You can choose to do it either way when it comes to your side. Okay, 6 times 2 times 5. Now there's an easy way to do this. Oops, sorry. 6 times 2 times 5. The easiest way to do this is to figure out a number that's easy. Figure out 2 of them you can multiply that's easy to multiply by the third one, okay? So when I look at this, I see 2 times 5, and I know that is 10, right? And I know I can do 6 times 10 in my head. That's 60. Next. 392 plus 78. All right. 8 plus 2 is 10. 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 7 more is 17. And 3 plus 1 is 4. 470. Last one, 725 plus 638. 8 plus 5 is 13. 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. And 7 plus 6 is 13. 1, 2, 3, comma. Our answer is 1,363. Now, if you get a sheet full of scratch work that you've done, please take a picture of it and hand it in at the same time as you hand in your side B. And you do not have to do number 5 on side B. All right. Also, if you need to Google any of these to see how long they are, because there could be some we didn't go over today, go ahead and Google like how long is a CM or how long is a DM, and then you should be able to finish that if you need. All right. Have a good evening.